Welcome to tutorial 11 of our Biostatistics series. If you've missed any of our tutorials, then please do well to revisit them. All right. Now, in today's lesson, we will learn how to calculate confidence intervals step by step. You will also discover how to calculate confidence intervals for both a population mean and a population proportion using simple examples from medicine and public health. And by the end of this lesson, you will also be able to solve examination questions with confidence. So every confidence interval follows the same sequence of steps. First, collect your sample data. Next, calculate the standard error, which tells us how much the sample estimate is expected to vary. Then choose the appropriate z-value based on the confidence level. After that, calculate the margin of error. Finally, add and subtract the margin of error from the estimate to obtain the confidence interval. When the population standard deviation is known, we use this formula to calculate the confidence interval for a population mean. The sample mean is our first estimate of the population mean. The z-value depends on the confidence level, while sigma represents the population standard deviation and n is the sample size. Larger sample sizes produce smaller standard errors and therefore narrower confidence intervals. Now let's use examples. So let's apply the formula to a real medical example. A hospital wants to estimate the average systolic blood pressure of its patients. The sample mean is 120 millimeters of mercury. The population standard deviation is 10. And the sample size is 100. Using a 95% confidence level, calculate the confidence interval for the true population mean. So how do we solve this? Now, we begin by calculating the standard error. The standard error is 10 divided by the square root of 100, which equals 1. Next, we select the z-value for a 95% confidence level, which is 1.96. The margin of error is therefore 1.96 multiplied by 1, giving 1.96. Finally, we add and subtract this margin of error from the sample mean of 120. The 95% confidence interval is therefore 118.04 to 121.96 millimeters of mercury. Great. Now, how do we interpret this result? We say that we are 95% confident that the true average systolic blood pressure of all patients in the hospital lies between 118.04 and 121.96 millimeters of mercury. Remember, this does not mean there is 95% probability that the true value is inside this particular interval. Instead, it means that the method used to construct the interval is correct 95% of the time over repeated sampling. All right. Now, sometimes we want to estimate a proportion rather than a mean. In such cases, we use this confidence interval formula for a proportion. Here, P represents the sample proportion. Z is the critical value. And N is the sample size. This formula is commonly used in prevalence studies, vaccination coverage surveys, and opinion polls. Now imagine a public health team conduct a malaria survey involving 400 residents. 72 people test positive for malaria. The sample proportion is therefore 72 divided by 400, which equals 0.18 or 18%. Our task is to calculate the 95% confidence interval for the true malaria prevalence in the community. So, let's see how the solution is. So first, calculate the sample proportion, which is 0.18. Next, calculate the standard error using the proportion formula. Then, select the z-value of 1.96 for a 95% confidence interval. Multiply the standard error by the z-value to obtain the margin of error. And finally, add and subtract the margin of error from the sample proportion. The confidence interval shows the range within which the true malaria prevalence is likely to fall. Good. So now it's your turn. The average birth weight is 3.2 kilograms. The population standard deviation is 0.5 kilograms. And the sample size is 64. Using a 95% confidence level, pause the video and calculate the confidence interval before we work through the solution together. So pause it. So let's solve it together. First, calculate the standard error by dividing 0.5 by the square root of 64, giving 0.005. 0.0625. Next, use the 95% z value of 1.96. Multiply the standard error by the z value to obtain the margin of error of 0.1225. Finally, add and subtract this value from the sample mean of 3.2 kilograms. The confidence interval is approximately 3.08 to 3.32 kilograms. We are 95% confident that the true average birth weight lies within this interval. So let's review the important points. Always begin with identifying the correct confidence interval formula. Then calculate the standard error carefully. Then choose the correct z value for the desired confidence level. Next, calculate the margin of error and then use it to determine the confidence interval. Finally, interpret the interval clearly in the context of the problem rather than simply reporting the numbers. Good. So in summary, we're saying that every confidence interval calculation follows the same logical process. Collect the sample data, calculate the standard error, choose the appropriate z value, determine the margin of error, calculate the confidence interval, and then provide a meaningful interpretation. Once you master these 6 steps, solving confidence interval questions becomes much easier. Now, in the next tutorial, we will reinforce these concepts with more worked examples. Congratulations! You have successfully learned how to calculate confidence interval for both means and proportions. Keep practicing these calculations because confidence intervals are among the most frequently tested topics in biostatistics and research methods. Thank you for learning with Medent tutorials. And if you found this tutorial helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. I will see you in the next tutorial. Peace out.